We're 1,000 miles from comfort. We have traveled land and sea. But as long as you are with me, there's no place I'd rather be. I would away forever, exalted in the sea. As long as I am with you, my heart continues to beat. With every step we take, Kyoto to the bay, strolling so casually. We're different and the same, gave you another name, switch up the batteries. If you gave me a chance, I would take it. It's a shot in the dark, but I'll make it. Knowing the little heart, you can't shame me. When I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be. 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 We set out on a mission to find our inner peace, make it everlasting, so nothing's incomplete. It's easy being with you, sacred simplicity, as long as we're together.
Ladies and gentlemen, this your journey in Jarrell's journal. Say it now, yeah, that's right. Nothing less but the best. This your journey in Jarrell's journal. Say it now, stand up. All over the globe. This your journey in Jarrell's journal. 2-6. In city, stand up. 2-6. This your journey in Jarrell's journal. Let's go.
Bring it with me, the source of your information, created to cover all sorts of sports and many players. In the making, there is none other like it. From the majors to the minors, it's tailored to be enlightening. To politics with the globe and unfold an athletic platform for the world to behold. Stay tuned as I cover your thoughts and views. Innovating a structure to stand taller for the player of the day, making way for tomorrow. Consistent content distributed with quality as passions of the youth get used, creating prodigies. The cornerstone for the call-ins and interviews, opinions, countdowns, trivia's the latest news. Bearing gifts, so this from me to you, guaranteed to be what you don't want to miss. So have a seat, cause I'm back.
Welcome to Jarrell's Journal. I am back. I am excited today. We have the Miss Jennifer Cobb. She is an alumni NFL cheerleader, and she is also the owner of a nonprofit that is in journey to fight Parkinson's disease. We're going to learn all about her today. But first and foremost, I want to start by saying this. Now is the perfect time to address that we need justice for Breonna Taylor. We also need justice for Elijah McClain, and we need justice for Vanessa Gillian. This is the perfect platform to make these statements, and it's time to create change and also implement action. But without further ado, I want to introduce Ms. Jennifer to Jarrell's Journal. So all my viewers, please put your hands together and make some noise for Ms. Jennifer Cobb.
Hi guys.
Hey,
Hello.
Jennifer, how you doing?
Thank you so much for having me, Jared.
Nah, thank you for having me. I
How
truly
you doing?
appreciate you.
We finally got
I'm
together.
doing. I know. That's how it is nowadays in this pandemic. Everybody's playing phone tag. So I'm excited that you were able to come on. I truly am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is great. Thanks so much for having me.
So tell me this: how have you been, the family, been adapting to the climate during this pandemic? Yeah, y'all been holding up okay?
Yeah, it's very trying, not only, for me as an adult child, as a caregiver for my dad, but I think for many people all over the world, really. One of the things I think we all can recognize from the 5-month pandemic that we've all experienced is a little bit of a taste of what it's like to be a caregiver, especially if you're an older, an older adult, senior, low income senior, or a senior at home caring for your loved one. That it's very quiet. The doors aren't knocking, the bells aren't ringing, and the phone isn't jingling, and there's people are not coming over to visit, and it can be very lonely and very sad and very depressing. And I think it's really, really important that caregiver support is recognized, and we all kind of trauma bond together and share our stories so we all can help each other get through what we're going through, especially if you're a caregiver for someone that's battling a brain disease such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, concussions, stroke, MS, ALS, just anything really. Fill in the blank. I think the common denominator is caregiver support and educating the caregivers and making sure that they are recognized and taken care of.
I know that's right. And you know what? You mentioned something, and I was just talking about it yesterday. As I have a lot of, not a lot, but a few family members that are very close to me. So I'm doing the same thing, assisting whenever I can. And me and my brother-in-law were just talking. The hospitals are totally different. You know, they're trying to get people in and out because of the, numbers of patients that they have. Even taking care of certain people is real different. Everything has changed. So I totally agree with you on that. So real
Yeah,
quick.
I'm so proud to be a part. Team Gateway to a Cure was founded by myself 4 years ago with the help of Michael J. Fox's foundation. And along the way, we kind of transitioned away from fundraising, and we partnered up with the Muhammad Ali Parkinson Center. And the Muhammad Ali Parkinson Center focuses 100% on caregiver support. Muhammad's legacy before he passed away, which I was in such great company with his widow, Lonnie, when she explained to me, Jen, the champ's legacy was all focused on caregiver support and what that looks like in the home. Many times you can't, as a low income senior or a senior that doesn't have the means to drive to their doctor appointment, to the pharmacy to get their medicine, or to go through their treatment. And so the Muhammad Ali Parkinson Center brings the care to the home to help coach and support the caregivers in their own home and in their own environment, which speaks a lot of volume for educating the caregiver and making sure that they're supported, because the insurance companies are now recognizing them, Jarrell, as the second patient. And so they're funding and helping them financially and physically and intellectually, because the caregiver is the nurse, the doctor, the therapist, all of those role models.
Absolutely.
The caregiver in the home is taking on.
So I have a quick question for you, since we're talking about your organization. So you started organization after your time as a cheerleader, and it is in shape of finding a cure for Parkinson's. Can you give us a description of your nonprofit, which is called the Gateway Cure to a Cure? What it is about? Just a brief background so the viewers would know exactly what it is. Excuse me.
Sure. So I was with the Rams from inaugural season when Georgia Frontiere brought him from LA to St. Louis. And she was advertising on the radio that she was hosting open auditions for 40 girls to be on the squad. My background is gymnastics and cheerleading in college and high school. I don't have a lot of professional dance experience in my background. And so, as you know, professional cheerleading and college cheerleading are two different things. So I didn't think I had too much of a chance, because dance was not my was my strongest part, but my personality and learning the material and the tenacity behind the talent was something that I thrive in. when I walked into the room, I'm like, there's no way that Jen's going to make this team, but I'm going to go in, fear alone, all in the back of my mind. I'm going to put that all aside, and I'm just going to go for it. Well, long story short, I was with the squad inaugural season all the way to Super Bowl.
That's awesome.
So I was part of the greatest show on turf. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but Mrs. Frontieri was a Vegas showgirl.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
so
she
was a
danced in Vegas
performer.
for many years.
So she was a ultimate performer. So it worked
She had a
perfect.
lot of dance background. Yeah.
So real quick,
it was a lot of fun. And so my platform coming off the NFL field, I wanted to use my voice and to cheer on other caregivers like myself, my mom, my brothers, and the whole family and friends that are caring for my dad. So he doesn't feel alone. We want to give him hope. We want to give him comfort as he goes through the disease, but never losing sight on who he is. I don't want to change my dad. I don't want to change who Ty Cobb is. I want him to stay exactly the way he is and just love him and enjoy him. And I think that speaks volumes. Many times we want to come in there, Jarrell, and we want to go in and we want to be the hero. And we want to change the trajectory of what the disease is. And that's not going to happen.
Yes,
the disease is the disease. We're gonna get through it. But while we're getting through it with patience and God's help and the tenacity and the consistency of the love that each of us have for our loved one, we're not going to change who that person is.
I know
it's very, very important to hold on to that.
Now, real quick, Miss Jennifer, I gotta say two things real quick, and this is outside of the interview. Now, if we have anyone that's coming in, I'm not sure if it's my fan. I know it's not my viewers and my following, but if you comment anything that's out of the way, you will be blocked. We're talking about a serious foundation, which is a serious matter, and anything that is irrelevant to this conversation, we won't have time for it. And also, Ms. Cobb, I just had to address that for, any kind of kids playing around or whatever it may be. But also, I found out what it was. It's raining on my side. So if you can't hear me, just have me repeat the question again, okay? So we're having a little technical difficulties due to rain, internet, all that good stuff, but we're going to have Ms. Cobb come back on. But once again, what I wanted to do is address two things. We're talking about, once again, something very serious, and I know the professionals that I work with, the professionals that are my friends, know that, they're not, engaging in this, but any viewers that come on, please be respectful to my guests, first of all, and to my business. Hey. Now, I was just letting you know that we're having a little thunderstorm, and I think that's the delay. So if you can't hear me, have me repeat.
I can hear you perfect now.
Okay, now we're in there.
Yeah, here you are.
So, Ms. Jennifer, real quick, you were talking about your experience with cheerleading. Before we get into your nonprofit, I want the viewers to learn more about your experience as a cheerleader. So I recall working with the cheerleaders in college, and that was the first time I noticed how hard they actually worked and trained. So my question was, do you think cheerleaders on the professional level should be paid more than they are? Because I know the pay is very low on all professional levels.
That is such a great question. I get asked that so many times, and I want people to really know that there is a contract that we sign, just like the players. And the minute that you sign in with the NFL, you are forever an ambassador of that company, of that brand. And so there's a lot that goes into the selective process with every player that walks on that field. And it's just not, they don't choose a player just for talent alone. Okay. There's a whole package that goes into every player selected. There's the camaraderie, the character, how they get along when they're exhausted in summer camp. with other players, how they are out in the public, how they are as a family, and with their family, and how they interact with other teammates. And then there's also the philanthropic part, the charity, where we have 120 hours per season that we have to commit to.
Okay.
And so cheerleaders are the exact. My talent was on the low scale, but I worked really hard, kind of like Michael Jordan did when he started baseball. He wasn't the best baseball player, but guess what? When practice was over, he went in with his hitting coach, Mike Barnett, who's a friend of mine. I know him very well, and spent 2 hours after practice hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting. Many people don't know that. He wasn't the best ball player, but he did it until. And that tenacity and that perseverance is something that I've always had. And so I would learn the routine until it landed me a spot on the field. Every game I had to work for my spot. Every year you have to retry out. If you're a rookie and you're coming in and you're a veteran, you still have to try out to make and land a spot on that team. And so we have practice on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Dome for about 3.5, 4 hours. And then Saturday, the day before the game for home, we practice about 4 hours at the Dome. And then call time, field time at the day of the game at the Dome is 7:30. We're on the field. We practice 2 hours prior to the game. We do our spotting, testing, the music, going through and running through every single routine. Then we go back in our locker room like the guys do, get our uniforms on, hair and makeup, not the guys. And you have lunch, and then we're in tunnel, ready for the guys to come through the tunnel. 11:45, Star Spangled Banner, all of that, and it's kickoff at noon, and then we're on the field for 4 hours.
That's awesome.
So it's awesome. A lot of work, a lot of commitment. But I got to tell you, between you and I want you to know that there's something else that you come away with the NFL that's not bank. No, we didn't get a check like the players, but there's a network of friendships and professionals that even to this day, 20 years later, I can't put a bank number on it. It is because of that. My foundation is where it's at today because of the NFL and all the players and the memories and the families and the friendships and everyone I've met along the way to get me to where I'm at today. And so, no, we didn't get a paycheck like the guys did. And, you know, they have a lot of expenses. They got their agent expenses, their insurance expenses, their branding expenses. I mean, so even though they get paid a lot, there's a lot that goes out too. Yeah. But also, I mean, our swimsuit calendar gives me exposure, my trading cards, the people I meet along the way. It is unbelievable, the trust that I will forever have with every single NFL family member. It is something awesome. I can't really put into words. But like when I go to the Super Bowl, or if I see these guys at alumni parties and gatherings, or charity events, it's like we have their own secret language that we get. Like there's a trust, and they say something, I say something, we know it stops. Gotcha. We always, it's like we trust each other. Bond. Yeah,
y'all have that bond
throughout the whole NFL with cheerleaders and players. And so, with that being said, it's a lot of hard work, but there's a lot of benefit that comes out of it.
That's awesome. And you know what? You actually spoke on what I was just about to ask you. But before I ask you, you made some valid points. And I know, you know, everything isn't about money because if you're in something you love, it's about the passion and doing what you love. But not the players, but organizations, I believe, should pay these cheerleaders a lot more, at least in the six figures, because the thing about it is the owners have the money. And then
they do, absolutely. But I got to tell you, if you have some side hustle tenacity in your mind, you will make some bank. Yeah, and I have done that.
I know that's right.
I've got the documentary movie. The book is coming out. I've got some other things, interviews with public figures that I can't be dropping names right now yet, but it's soon and coming up. But there's so many great things that God's going to take care of me along the way. And if you can side hustle and make some money on the other, I mean, Cameo approached me about doing the video. The cheerleading is so huge right now on Netflix. The cheerleaders are like, Jen, will you send us a motivational video for our birthday party or before we go to summer camp? I mean, it's just like, girls want to know, like, we get each other. Like, they want that confidence and they want to know what really happens behind the scenes. And it's just storytelling and things like that. But there's some side hustles that you can do. Some of the players have approached me about doing cheerleading camps with their football camps. They're like,
awesome.
Cheerleading and football makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does. It works hand in hand. Yeah.
Girls work just as hard as the players, and they all both go hand in hand, and it makes for more people that are involved. So you've got the men that are a part of the football camp. I got some New York Giants that are talking to me. I've got some Patriots. I've got Dolphin football players. I've got Ram football players, Arizona Cardinals. They're putting on football camps, and they want to do cheerleading camps as well. So
that's a good look.
If you have an imagination and you're a little creative, you can do it.
I know that's right. And you know what? Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other ladies that have the, different passions outside of cheerleading that could use that boost. But just like you said, being a cheerleader is a great stepping stone, and you're building a lot of great connections. So when you do that movie, make sure you break it on Jarrell's journal first, okay?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's been some really great people that have come off the NFL as a cheerleader. We've got Lisa Gerardo, who's with Inside Edition. Yep, we've got pageant women that have done many beauty pageants that have Vanessa Williams. She's gone off to do really great things. We've got doctors and lawyers. We've got educators, people who have been done therapy, and nurses. I mean, just a whole just a myriad of different professionals. And I think what the NFL has done so brilliantly in picking and choosing their ambassador, myself and many others, to represent that brand, just like the players do. Because between you and I, again, when they come off the field and they retire and hang up their helmets and their pom-poms, they have got to walk that walk forever.
Yes.
And it's really important that people really understand how strategic the choice and the selective process is.
And you know what? You remember, I know you recall not too long ago, they had the show with Dallas cheerleaders. I forgot the network that was on. But with you describing it, it really sounds a lot like the processes the fellows go through. It's not just on your talent level, but you have to be a person of character as well. And I'm just, highlighting that for all viewers, for kids that might, watch this. It isn't all about talent. It's about how you carry yourself, and how you can promote the brand as well outside of the organization.
Absolutely. You are an ambassador for life, and you can have the fastest 40-yard dash and be the quickest guy on the field. But if you can't get along with your teammates, and you don't hustle the next year, and you've got a lot of baggage emotionally, you're not centering that and getting that taken care of, and you don't have your formula figured out, I think there's going to be a problem. And honestly, what the NFL wants is they want to help you become the best version of you, whether that's as a player, as a professional, as a teammate, as a father, a brother, an uncle, a family member. Whatever that role is of who you are, they're helping inspire you to become the best version of you. So then when you do walk off of that field, you can inspire and continue to help others become the best version of them.
That is awesome. Now tell me this, what is one of your most fondest memories from being a cheerleader? Do you have any games or any memories that, just stick out to you?
I would have to say, I went to Maui, Hawaii on an invitational, selected as a fitness competitor.
Okay.
And it was when the NFL, the Rams were the worst team in the NFL. Okay. I came home winning that title as the fittest woman in America,
Awesome. Awesome.
cheering for the worst team in the NFL. So the media went crazy with that title.
Oh,
They
that's
said,
smooth.
"Oh, I
Okay.
guess Jennifer needs to be coaching these fellows because they've got the fittest woman in America cheering for the worst guys and the worst team in the NFL." And boy, it was just so funny in the locker room talk. It was just hysterical. And when they'd walk past me, they'd say, "Hey, good job, Jen." And I mean, it was just great. The next year, they won the Super Bowl.
That's awesome. Hey,
That's a good story.
no, it really is. And you know what? I'll tell you at the end of the interview. We'll break it at the end of the interview because I definitely want to give you an invite, and you will be perfect for it. But sticking to the plan, tell me about your transition from cheerleading to your passion. Like, what motivated you to want to start this nonprofit, and how was it transitioning out? Did you have like a little downtime in which you didn't know what you wanted to do, or you already had plans in works?
Yeah, that's a good question. After I retired from the NFL, I started a family and really dove into that role. My background is dietetics. I'm a dietitian
Okay.
for a children's hospital,
You know
and
exactly
so
what
I
that is.
really focused on that part. And then right around 1999, my father was diagnosed with Parkinson's. Around the same time when Michael J. Fox went public with his disease. And my dad's always been someone I've looked up to. He's my hero. And I still today look at him as if I'm a 16-year-old teenager asking my dad for advice and looking up to him like I'm a little girl looking at this
Yeah.
amazing hero in my life. And Parkinson's changed that. It changed his
I'm
his
sorry.
spirit. It took his spirit away. And there's a little bit of a shift that
Yeah.
I noticed in him. And so somewhere along the way, it got worse. And I thought when I was with the NFL, they always pride themselves on giving back to the community. And I thought this is a great opportunity to use my voice to cheer on others that are in the same spot I am.
That's
And
awesome.
if I could touch someone else's heart the way that God has touched mine in terms of serving others, then I've done a good thing.
That is
So
awesome.
I started 5K fundraising for 5Ks and collaborated efforts with Michael J. Fox. And I've raised quite a bit of money for him and his research. And every year he honors me at the VIP Awards in New York City for my efforts. And then there got to be a time where I didn't want to do fundraising much anymore. I wanted to be more on the educational side. And that's when I collaborated with Lonnie Ali, Mohammed's widow. And they invited me out there. I was sitting at her table at the retirement party of Mohammed's doctor. And they brought me on board as an ambassador for them. And now my role for Team Gateway as a founder and board president is to raise awareness for caregivers, the ones that are behind the scenes at home.
Yeah. That's awesome.
They don't get pats on the back. They don't get that of boys or that of girls.
Yeah.
They give every day, they kiss their loved one on the head. They make sure their bellies are full of food, their medicine's in there. They get their therapy done and they tuck them in bed and rinse and repeat every single day. And so they're tired, they're depressed, they're exhausted. And so where do they go for their support? And so that's where my voice and my platform come in. I want to be the voice for caregivers.
That is awesome. And Jennifer, and like you said, at this point in time of what we're going through in the pandemic, now we are seeing them as heroes because of all that they do. Even during the time right now when no one wants to work or get sick, they still have a job to do in helping out others. That is awesome.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
what I love most is even when you talk, I can hear the passion about why this is important to you. And I've worked for many nonprofits, and maybe the owner is passionate, but you might not get that same drive from all the workers. I think this is beautiful. And what we want to do is highlight your nonprofit and make sure we can contribute in any way that Jarrell's Journal can as well. So we want to promote you and help out any way we can as well. So whatever you
Thank
have,
you.
please share it to us so we can do our part on our end. But another question I have for you, Jennifer, is uh, I know, well, you just explained that education in the community and with families are most vital with nonprofits. And that's, to provide these services. What type of resources do you guys provide for the communities that educate on Parkinson's, the symptoms, and things of that nature so they are all familiar with it?
Yeah, so you're not alone. Whether you're battling a brain disease such as Parkinson's or Alzheimer's, concussions, ALS, MS, whatever the brain disease is, or if you're a caregiver, I think you and I and many others are a caregiver to some capacity, whether you're a
Mhm.
sibling caring for younger, you're a grandparent caring for your grandkids, you're a single mother caring for your kids, and you're an adult child caring for your parents,
Mhm.
or you're caring for yourself and you're trying to get through whatever it is in life. The website www.teamgatewaytoacure.org has so much highlighted educated material and links that you can go to help support yourself. The other thing that I've noticed is that I said earlier that the insurance companies are recognizing caregivers as the second patient. And so now YMCAs and hospitals are now putting in caregiver support groups. Here's a great story for you. My dad, when he gets done working out at the YMCA and he's
Uh-huh.
all showered, grabs his cup of coffee and maybe a donut or two, you know where he goes? He goes over to that round table where all the fellas are sitting. And
Uh-huh.
you know what they're all talking about?
What's that?
They're they're dude talking. They're sharing their stories, man. They're
Yeah.
just talking dude stuff and they're trauma bonding. And sometimes they listen to each other's stories. Not that the doctors aren't important, they are, but the doctor
Hmm.
advice, sometimes they listen to their buddy's advice more than
Hmm.
the doctors. And I think there's
It's,
something to
it's
be said
imperative.
about all of
Yeah.
us trauma
It,
bonding and sharing our stories. And
yeah.
what are we doing now? I'm sharing my story with
Yeah.
you
Because you
in
don't know.
hopes to help
You
others.
and just like you said, you never know who it helps. I remember going to the it's not with Parkinson's, but my grandmother has cancer, my mother has cancer. So when we go to the cancer center, we hear these same stories. And it's the camaraderie of knowing that you're not like you said, only one going through that, and someone else might have something that they can pass on that can help you and ease that time while you're going through
Yes.
that journey. So yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, and when I speak at caregiver conferences, many times a question will come up like, Jen, how do I let go of the emotional history? I'm a single mom or a dad, and I'm trying to build my company and raise my kids, and now my dad never showed up to any of my football games and practices. Now he's sick, and he wants me to take care of him. Well, how do you let go of that? And how do you meet the person where they're at and
Yeah.
let go of the emotional history? The
Mm.
person who's struggling with cancer isn't the same dude it was when he was a 20-year-old young man just starting having kids. He
Mm.
was still trying to figure it out too.
Yes.
But he's also not the same man or woman that they were. And yes, maybe
What?
they didn't show up for all your dance recitals or your football games. So you're going to go ahead and beat them up because of it. There's something that happens to the human soul when you step outside yourself and you serve.
Yes.
Irregardless of past hurt, there's something magically that
Hmm.
happens. It's a gift. And if you can look past that and care for those that are suffering, I think you're going to do really good.
And I'll tell you exactly what it is, Jennifer. Just spiritually speaking, when you give to others, you feel that you feel that sense of gratitude is a relieving feeling, and it feels good. That's exactly
Yes.
what it is.
And it's also representing yourself, ambassador for yourself, and
Yes,
also those that are little eyes that are looking at you and watching
absolutely.
you.
Absolutely. That is wonderful. And real quick, before I ask any more questions, because this topic is so awesome and we're getting so much great information, if you have any questions for Jennifer, what you can do is you can go to Jarrell Heslop's sports consulting page. We're streaming live on there as well as I'm on my personal page, Jarrell Heslop. Ask any question, and I'm going to address it, and I'm going to ask Jennifer ourselves because she's giving us some great information. But Jennifer, real quick, a lot of people heard of Parkinson's, but they don't really actually know what it is. Could you tell them, the viewers, what Parkinson's is and what it does to the body and the brain?
So the sister to Parkinson's is Alzheimer's. And Alzheimer's, as we know, affects the brain in the memory capacity. You don't see it physically. Parkinson's is the opposite. It doesn't affect the memory. They are sharp, they got it, they remember and recall everything.
Okay.
Fortunately, you see it physically, and you see it in certain symptoms such as their voice projection, their small handwriting, their shuffling of their steps, their gait, their dyskinesia, which is like Michael when you see him on camera,
No movement
the
and
twitching
muscles.
and the tremors of the extremities. And then there's also a thing they don't really talk about, and it's called freezing. Freezing is when you are stopped. You can't physically move. You want to move, but you can't. And many times what happens, those episodes get worse and worse. And sometimes they can be in a humiliating spot, such as a restroom of a public restaurant, and you're in a stall by yourself and you're frozen and you don't have somebody there to help you. And that actually happened with my dad. So that was the time we didn't take him out anymore to restaurants because he couldn't go to the bathroom by himself. And you take for granted pulling up your pants, and there's a dignity there, a respect. And Parkinson's took that from my dad. And so what we do now is we change it. We give him the power back at home. And we focus on where he can get his dignity, where he can earn his respect. And it's not complicated. He loves to cook. Maybe he can't cook. Maybe he can't chop, but he can watch, and you can talk, and you can sit and have a bowl of popcorn and watch a movie. You can push him in the wheelchair and go to the park. There's many ways that you can be a good caregiver. It's really not complicated. But what you want to do is focus on the person. And don't try to be the hero, the God Junior to come in and rescue him. Dad doesn't want to change. He knows there's probably not going to be a cure. The medication's helping him get through the disease. He just wants to love his family. He wants his family around. And there's, thank goodness, technology, you and I. Technology, you're far away from your loved one. Give them a call, text them. And if there's some emotional hurt, just let them know you're thinking of them. Maybe you're not ready to talk, and that's okay. Shoot them a little text, maybe a picture, a video, something. There's a million ways to be a good caregiver. And if you don't want to cook, if you can't be there, there's a thing called Uber Eats now. I mean, there's lots. You send them
you can do something, right?
Have a neighbor go and get an ice cream cone. This is from your son. This is from your daughter from, Arizona, and you're in California, whatever. So just be creative, and it like I said earlier, it does the soul very good.
Now, real quick, Jennifer, another question we had was, where are we with the cures or in meds as far as the Parkinson's disease?
So, great question. That now we have a pill that actually, reverses the damage that Parkinson's has done to the brain. And I'm really excited to talk about that. Before we had to, the medicine had to be timed with protein 30 minutes prior to eating. We don't have to do that. So it's a nice, slow time release medicine. And the other thing that we're doing is we're crossing over other medicine that's been in research and has been FDA approved for other diseases such as Alzheimer's. and treating Parkinson's with those to see how they react. And we've had a lot of promising results in that.
That's
And then
awesome.
there's also family medicine, the loved ones, just loving them and just giving them lots of laughter and just loving and kissing on them and just being there and supporting them while they go through it.
That is awesome. And uh, the last question I have for you, as far as with Parkinson's, is where can we go to donate and to help fund for the cure and education? I already put www.teamgatewaytoacure.org. Do you have any other resources that you would like to inform the viewers of?
Yeah, sure. You can go to the website and there's a link donate, and you can donate whatever you want in memory of or in honor of a loved one. And we will definitely recognize those people on the website. And also, we will recognize them in the credits of the documentary movie. Um,
Okay.
and that money will go to educate caregivers as well as the research for the Fox Foundation as well as the Muhammad Ali Parkinson Center.
That's,
I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, and I'm also on Instagram. Team Gateway to a Cure, Jennifer Cobb.
is right there.
Yeah. Oh,
www.
there it is.
Dot. Oh
Okay.
no for the view. No, not for you. For the viewers. www.teamgatewaytoacure.org.
.org.
Get on it. And so, hey, Jennifer, you see this behind me?
I do.
So, in college, my undergrad degree was in kinesiology. So I had the pleasure to work at Duke Hospital. And what we do in kinesiology is work with rehab and is the ability to move in your muscles. So that's the first time I got to work with people with Parkinson's and things of that nature and other diseases as well. So I've seen it firsthand, and I definitely have a compassion for it because I've seen what it can do to people that I'm close to and people that I've worked with. We want to do at Jarrell's Journal. I want to pair with you, and I'll get with you after we get off. But I would love to anything we can. If you can send me some literature and we can promote it on Jarrell's Journal. Anything we can do to help www.team Gateway to a Cure, I would more than be happy to
Thank you
jump on
so
board.
much.
No, thank
I
you.
appreciate that.
I thank you
There
because
is a saying that says it takes a village, and the
yeah,
village is all of us. And I think the common denominator here is support.
yeah,
And we're here to support not only the loved ones that are going through it, but also each other.
exactly. And this is what I want to tell you. So, I've just started my business at the beginning of this year, and we've been moving, and we're trying to continue to keep the ball rolling. But what I'm planning to do within the next 2 years, I want to have a conference in North Carolina because you're in a bigger city, and they're used to a lot of events and being accessible to a lot of different personalities as far as celebrities of different functions. We don't get a lot of that this way. So I want to bring that to North Carolina. I would love to set up with you and have you
Absolutely.
come and educate during that conference. I think it would be dope. So I would love to stay in contact with you, Jennifer.
Absolutely. Yeah. Get in touch with my publicist
Yes.
and he'll take care of it and we'll get it set up. Absolutely. Momentum's a heck of a thing.
Yep.
And I think we all are coming off of the pandemic for the last 5 months, a little bit of a taste of what caregivers life is like. And it's lonely. It can be very sad. And I think it's really important that we educate and help support all of us going through.
Yes. So Jennifer, I really want to thank you so much. I mean, I really had a good time because I
Thank
try to
you.
align.
This is
Yeah,
fun.
I thought so.
I know. I had a blast.
But I try to align myself with people that have a similar mentality and a similar purpose. And I appreciate you coming to educate because that's what this platform is for, to
Thank you
educate
so much.
so that other people know exactly what's going on and where they can help or where they can learn to direct others that they might know that needs that information. So from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you, Jennifer.
Oh, I appreciate you too. And again, thank you so much. This has been such a great experience. I've had a
I
great
appreciate
time.
it. Thank you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm
All
gonna
right, you
call you
guys
I'm
take
gonna
care.
call you in a second, okay?
Okay, you guys take care. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So once again, that was Miss Jennifer Cobb. Jennifer, once again, is a alumni cheerleader for the Los Angeles Rams. She was also the owner of Gateway to a Cure, which is a nonprofit organization that finds cures and, like we found out today, also supports caregivers for Parkinson's disease. The information to contact her and to help out with her donation or with a donation to her organization, or just to get some information and education, is right here. It's www.teamgatewaytoacure.org. A couple of things before we get off. I truly appreciate everyone that supports Jarrell's Journal. And for the one incident that happened, I'm pretty sure it won't happen again. But we definitely show respect to all guests that come on, and especially when we're talking about something very serious. But thank you for tuning in. Please stay locked in as we have some other guests coming in the next couple of weeks, some NFL guys. And we're also doing a thing now with me and some other big time podcast heads where we collab together. It's called the Pop-Up Show. We're having a pop-up show actually this Saturday. So you can catch all of us at once, and we're talking about sports. So stay tuned to my pages and you'll see the information for that. But thank you again. I truly appreciate you guys for tuning in. I hope you are educated and had a good time as I did. But I will see you guys very soon. So y'all be blessed. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, this your journey in Jarrell's Journal. Say it now, yeah, that's right. Nothing less but the best. This your journey in Jarrell's Journal. Pay it now, stand up. All over the globe. This your journey in Jarrell's Journal. 2-6. In city, stand up. 2-6. This your journey in Jarrell's Journal. Let's go.
Bring it with me, the source of your information. Created to cover all sorts of sports and many players. In the making, there is none other like it. From the majors to the minors, it's tailored to be enlightening. To politic with the globe and unfold an athletic platform for the world to behold. Stay tuned as I cover your thoughts and views. Innovating a structure to stand taller for the player of the day, making way for tomorrow. Consistent content distributed with quality as passions of the youth get used, creating prodigies. The cornerstone for the call-ins and interviews, opinions, countdowns, trivia's, the latest news. Bearing gifts, so this from me to you, guaranteed to be what you don't want to miss. So have a seat, cause I'm back.